Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our Global TV Deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Corruption is a vile disease that sucks and drains the health out of something good. Corruption in society is an evil moral infection that keeps community in the state of perpetual sickness. Corruption is a moral virus. It's so potent, it leaves its host sick, lethargic, and unable to realize and accomplish all that a well person can. Where corruption thrives, poverty and not prosperity thrives. Wealth is grabbed into the greedy, grubby hands of those who get fat on the toil and labor of good people. Corruption benefits, only temporarily, those who participate in it. Everyone else is a victim of the theft, the deceit, the dishonesty, and the lies that corruption feeds on. You need to know that a corrupt person is stealing from you. Corruption is filthy work and despicable acts of treachery done under the table and behind closed doors. Corruption is a disgusting shame. Corruption keeps a nation back from true development and from progress. Wise investors steer clear of a corrupt environment. They would rather put their resources into a place where the playing field of opportunity is equal for all and not bent towards feeding the financial lust of corrupt, lying, cheating, thieving politicians and government officials. How many wonderful development projects have been lost because the investors didn't want to do business in a swamp of evil? When those great projects go to another nation or to some other place, we all lose. Believe me when I tell you that corruption steals from you, it steals from all of us. Corruption plunders the nation's wealth. Corrupt people compromise on truth, equity, and fairness, choosing instead to feed off the short-term benefits of crookedness, exploitation, and financial perversion. Corruption is not just a personal matter, it's a culture. It's a way of life, not just for individual people, but for companies, communities, governments, and nations. Corrupt nations, hiding behind large companies, will seek to invest in other weak nations in order to take over the assets of the nation that they've invested into. They will provide financial loans to a nation for the much-needed infrastructure, and they will do it with assets that they provide. They will sign contracts by lining the pockets of rotten government officials who participate in this kind of corruption and are then held hostage by their own deceit and greed. Corruption is nothing less than a form of theft and national robbery. A corrupt person steals from everyone in society.
Together, run, keep going on, let's process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So just as I and I as a watchman around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace while wrong is going on. Hey, oh, we gotta bust down Babylon walls, preparing the way, preparing the way for your people. Let's go! Fight down, war and cry, fight down, me say Rastafari, war and cry, and do the righteousness, and we love. And we love Jaja.
Jah Rastafari.
And we love Jaja.
Jah Rastafari. Save all people.
And we love Jaja. We love Jaja.
Jah Rastafari.
We love Jaja.
Jah Rastafari. Preserve all people.
Put time away again. Listen, yeah. Just as I and I as a watchman around Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel. I and I should never hold thy peace, but we penalize. Hey, oh, night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates. Prepare the way. Prepare the way for Jah Rastafari. Fight down war and
Fight down war and fight.
Rastafari, war and crime, and build up righteousness. And we love Jah, and we love Jaja, and we love Jaja,
Jah Rastafari. Preserve all.
and we love Jaja, Jah. Me love Jaja,
Jah
me
Rastafari.
love Jaja,
Jah Rastafari. Preserve all.
me love Jaja,
Jah Rastafari.
Jah Rastafari.
Rastafari.
Indebted from the womb to the tomb. Good morning and welcome to Global TV. Thank you all for joining us this morning. The package the Prime Minister presented yesterday. All of us alive and everybody born after Melissa will be paying this debt into eternity, similarly to the colonial tax, which we paid up until 2015 from the time we were freed, so-called, out of slavery to 2015. Yeah. The minister came to, one of the ants minister, came to Parliament yesterday with an order that blundered. We're going to be kosher with the minister this morning because there's a string of failure around the minister. This is not the first time. Mark Golding and his team have to stop one of the ants minister in her trap for bringing, she don't understand what she brought to Parliament. The string of failure, though, is much wider than the minister. We're going to go back to the Prime Minister and the debt he's putting in us, the threat that the Prime Minister made to us. I am still left confused, and I'll tell you why. I don't know if I jumped out of my sleep or the Prime Minister, for that matter, jumped out of his sleep. I will not be threatened, said the Prime Minister. Does anyone knows or is aware of who threatened the Prime Minister and what, for that matter, was the threat about? Because I think the Prime Minister jumped out of his sleep, or I jumped out of my sleep. Not quite clear what that was all about yesterday. What a car crash, though, from the Minister of Finance. But then, if she's a careless driver, what then would one expect? It would be a car crash. So we have to take time with it. We know the car was going to go over the gully, isn't it? So it shouldn't be like a surprise seeing the car going over the gully. The junior minister in the Ministry of Finance is being referred by the Integrity Commission to be charged for incomplete submission of his statutory declaration. How could Andrew Holness, a minister of government, a minister in the Ministry of Finance, be overseeing the administration of our finances when he himself, Andrew Holness, is unable to oversee the administration of his finances? What can go so, Prime Minister? To my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, dear subscribers, commenters, and trolls, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the morning after the many ants ministers. No, sir. Globalist, oh no, this morning. What a car crash yesterday. What a car crash. But we're going to deal with the minister's order first, because we have to point out that this is not the minister's failure. And I'll tell you why. Debbie Jarvis TV, good morning. Laverne, good morning. Real sweet, good morning and welcome. Andrea Joan Hamilton Wilson, Colleen, good morning. Jean and Tony, good morning. Wayne Evans, Pamela Acola, Ivan Bradford, good morning. Abinasa Cody, Delroy Henry, good morning. Sophia Hall, Lynette Jenkins, good morning. In Ayers, good morning. I've been making my argument from day one. Pro-Bucks ministers. Oh, the Pro-Bucks went over the gully yesterday, Delroy Henry. The Pro-Bucks went over the gully yesterday. Poor thing. Carlton Barnes, good morning. Valerie Johnson, good morning. The Pro-Bucks went over the gully yesterday. But I'm not blaming the minister. Poor old thing. Now, this isn't really... Leave the inability to read, the inability to speak, leave that aside. How did you get there, Fable? How did Fable Williams get there? What on earth do you mean? I mean, get to political representation. You asking me that? George Wright got there. But she even got further. She got all the way to the country's purse. World Bank, dirty World Bank, and IMF. We could have sent the speech a little bit earlier to Favour yesterday, you know. World Bank and IMF. Yes, those are no one understand global politics. Don't understand what I go on, boy. Yeah. World Bank, IMF. Why not embarrass the woman like that? Or why not embarrass the country like that? Put that aside. Who checked the Prime Minister yesterday? Because that cost me lack of sleep last night, because I go to my bed laughing and I wake up laughing. I will not be threatened. So, anybody would here watch yesterday? I don't know what the who checked the Prime Minister and what was he checking about? World Bank, IMF. I never know if Favour never passed basic school. Let me ask again. World Bank. Morning to the World Bank. Morning to Nigel Clark at the IMF. I never know say Favour Williams never graduated from basic school. Oh God. Oh God. No. The minister was reading. The minister is unable to read. The minister is unable to speak. Favour, I wonder if I two bad man ship money and gun and see him make you get to political represent. Because I don't talk, you talk now, read your way the Favour. Good God Almighty now. Favour Williams. I don't talk, you talk now, read your way there. Favour never talk. Now read her way to where she is today. How did you get there, Favour? Auntie Fav, one of the aunts minister, how did you get there? I mean, I'm curious to know now. If you weren't curious before yesterday, after yesterday, you have to wonder, how did she get there? How did she get there? But the Jamaica Labour Party is surrounded by a plethora of dunce, and before Mark Golden, we get to Mark Golden, explanation and straightening them up. Because our Labour come a parliament for do, you know, is for bully we and face. Because I know dunce people normally face them. I don't know how me no dunce. But I don't know dunce people normally face them. And this is all they come to parliament to do. To face the with we and for bully. But you still, when it comes to reading and comprehending, nobody, and I mean nobody, but nobody in the JLP demonstrate that to us, that they have the ability to read and understand, in particular to our legislative framework. We saw the brouhaha between them and the Integrity Commission over their understanding of the very same legislation written and passed in law by them. What an embarrassment yesterday. No. There are many overlapping things here, which we pay for. What I'm going to explain to you, the string of advice, I'm going to explain, which we pay for, so they can be properly advised before they come to parliament to embarrass themselves and the nation with their inability to read, speak, and understand. No. You have the Attorney General. The Attorney General, we pay for that legal advisor to advise the government, the executive, meaning the Prime Minister and his cabinet, can should sort advice from the Governor General on a matter of law that they're taking to us, or on decision taken by the government, the legal implications of the decision taken by the government. That's the top brass layer of the legal advice we pay for the government. You also have what is called a parliamentary legal counsel, lawyers, which we Jamaicans pay for to advise all of these brouhahas in parliament. So we pay for that too. Then all of these executive ministries of government, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Shit, Ministry of Piss, and all of that's not working. All of these departments have what is called legal counsel, an attorney or a team of attorney advising them, which we pay for. They can even go outside of that and sort their own legal consultation outside, which we still pay for. So when the minister came to parliament yesterday with an order, misunderstanding what was given to her to read, you cannot blame her. This is a decision in relation to our fiscal policy taken by the government in the aftermath of Melissa to give us, that elbow room Mayor Motley was talking about, given the package that was thrown at us. You also have Floyd Green, an attorney, leader of the House. Either nobody read the document or nobody understood the document. You cannot blame Minister Williams for the blunder in relation to that document. From my knowledge, the minister doesn't have a legal background. So the minister would be depending on all these persons, the Attorney General, Parliamentary Counsel, or for that matter, the legal counsel within the Ministry of Finance, along with a lot of her colleagues like Floyd Green and Nestor Morgan, leader and deputy leader of the House, who are attorneys. And all that blunder that Mark Golden is going to explain to you escape all that level of advice that we pay for, that I have just explained to you. That pass through all of them without they recognize that there's a grave misunderstanding of what the legislation says. Let Mark Golden explain it for you. Lord, then, don't stay. The only thing they come to Parliament to do is to face the bully. When it comes to read, to understand, labor rights, outer synchronization. They're outer synchronization with everything. And if they couldn't just chill and tap the feistiness and tap the rudeness and make the whole we help them, because we see them a struggle and your wholeness. We see them a struggle. We see them lose the ability to think. We see them lose the ability to understand. We are here to help. And your wholeness and your many numbskulls, we are here to help.
The main issue I want to say about the order is this. The duration of the order, Minister, is that it expires. It's for a period which commenced on the date Melissa hit, October 20th, 2025, and it terminates on March 31 next year. So it's a very short period that's covered by this order. And when I look at the provision in the law, it says that the initial period during which compliance with the requirements referred to in subsections 1A and B, which are the contraction of the economy by more than 1.5% of GDP, maybe so the initial period during which compliance with those requirements may be suspended shall terminate at the end of the financial year following the eventuality. So to my mind, you're selling yourself short, Minister, by having it end in the financial year that we are in and that the calamity occurred. Because it's supposed to be, it should terminate at the end of the financial year following the calamity. This is important because the effects of this are likely to impact the upcoming fiscal year. So I question the period, and there's another reason why it is important that we get that date right, because it says that, and this is a proviso to that same provision, and that provision, Minister, is subsection 4 of section 48C of the Financial Administration Audit Act, subsection 4. And it goes on to say that where the fiscal commissioner has validated in the prescribed manner that the residual impact of the eventuality means Melissa in this case, is significant enough to warrant the continued suspension of the requirements, the fiscal rules. The suspension of the requirements may be continued for an extended period of one more financial year immediately following the initial period of the suspension. So that would give you 2 years, potentially, plus the period between now and March, during which Jamaica could utilize this envelope, massive envelope of resources that were announced yesterday to try and get the recovery going. But the way the order is worded, this one expires in March, and then the law only allows you to have one more fiscal year of suspension after that, which I don't think is desirable. So I'm suggesting to you, Minister, that you revisit this, take a moment, or maybe more than a moment, to look at it. But I don't think that the order that's before us complies with subsection 4 in its current form. I think the idea, and I was very involved in the drafting of it, so I'm speaking from a position of some knowledge of this, because when the amendments that we're looking at to do with the suspension of the fiscal rules were passed, I was the chairman of the legislation committee of cabinet then and went through it with a fine-tooth comb with the technocrats from finance. So I'm saying that the intention is definitely that it should last for a year following the fiscal year in which the calamity occurs. And we shouldn't be constrained to have a suspension for a few months till March. And then you only have one more potential year to March 2027 of suspension. So that's my contribution. I'd love to hear from you when you're going to amend the act to adjust that target and also to reconsider the deadline or the end of the period, of the initial period, which currently is March 31, 2026, but I think ought to be March 31, 2027. Thank you.
A few moments.
Error in the order. It should be March 31st, 2027, as rightly pointed out by the leader of the opposition. So, Madam Speaker, we will. So, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we ask for 5 minutes recess so that we can reprint the order and have the minister sign it. Suspension for 5 minutes, Madam Speaker.
House, the question? No, members. The question is that the House be suspended for 5 minutes.
Total embarrassment. Total embarrassment. Because when you come to Parliament to read. When you read, you don't understand. When you read, you don't understand. So that's why you can't come to it with any half-baited, half-understood galangin. This thing passed through a whole string. Either they didn't take advice from the string of advice that I've explained to you. Even the crook, the minister of fraudulent land title, Xavier Main, the junior minister in the Ministry of Finance, is an attorney himself as well. That's how Xavier Main create the whole heap of fake land title. That's how Xavier Main thief people house and land with them false land title them. Even he's an attorney as well. So either there was no advice sought on the document, whoever wrote the order have no understanding of the law. So then just write what Andrew tell them to write. And then come to Parliament, come embarrass the woman. This is really not Favor's fault. Favor is dependent on a whole plethora of legal heads around her to give her the correct advice. And what they gave the minister to come to Parliament with yesterday bullshitted the minister at the podium. Because Mark Golding have attacked her in her chat, explain to her what the law is, what the implications are based on the order that she came to Parliament with, and send them back, go correct it. That's one of the reasons for the opposition. And that's where Mark Golding work well when Parliament work well. When Parliament work well, one thing you can say,
Position.
Jamaicans bolo as he is, when it comes to holding them account legally in Parliament, he is brilliant at that. But because with Parliament poker and all sort, not normal, not really happen in our Parliament anymore. But for those of you labor rights who every minute, why the PNP just an opposer? That's why they name opposition, you idiot. Idiot. That's why they name opposition. That's why in a constitution they are called the opposition. So what you expect them to do? You see nothing in the Constitution said the silencer or the silencee? You idiots. Opposition means so you have a problem with everything. All if there's good in it, there's a level of playing the devil advocate that you should do. Don't you know how to do rage bait, you mother feathers? But that's why we can't always rage bait on a labor, right? You know, we're so dunce and scrupulous that we can come out and say anything and rage bait, you know. We can't say anything and we rage bait, you know. Because you see, you don't understand what brainstorming means. You only understand rage bait. Just say something and all of them jump in at the wet mud and start walla instead of go pick up book and read. If you know they read, you couldn't come out and talk the nonsense them after Andrew Holness so and believe so they ain't go so all when Andrew Holness we taught them no so they don't go so. But poor thing, you know, come on, and the same thing catch favor, you know. And the same thing catch favor. She just depend upon what they tell her say. Just like a holy pound of labor right, just depend upon what Andrew tell her, or Andrew talk say, and then run come out with it. And go embarrass yourself in a public. Favor had was to crash yesterday. Because one of the things Favor lacks is reading skill and presentational skills. She don't have them there. So if you put down something, go and go hush, baby. That you go home, go to grandmother. Go hush, baby. The way you slow, you reach now the grandmother rhythm now where you figure look at a grand picnic. Because the young girl you don't have time. When you have the time, Favor. Favor, you have the time, you don't move fast like a young girl ya. Give the thing up and go look at a picnic. Go on a nursery. If you don't have no granny, go look one job at one nursery. Favor, don't make a go out to you this man, you know, Minister. Even though me I take time with you, but Minister move out of the way. Minister, go get a nursery nurse job. Your demeanor, Favor Williams, you would be fitting for infant school or a nursery nurse. Favor, but yes, where you're there. Yes, where you're there, Favor. Embarrassment after embarrassment. From the pro box to the pro box going over the gully. Favor Williams. Go on to one nursery. Go and go look after children at nursery, Favor. You would do so well there because you're very slow and tender. You're very slow and tender, Minister Williams. So you would have do good in looking after children from birth to 5. Because after 5 and then start run around, you know, can't manage them anymore. Favor Williams. You're out of your niche, auntie. You really are out of your niche. Go on a one nursery, go look after picnic. You'd be do better changing pampers and wiping bottom and wiping puke and wearing apron and then something the Favor, but where you do not suit you know. And don't cuss me, I cuss you, you know. But just I tell you the truth. Me just I tell you the truth. Oh, me understand off it talking. Me just I tell you where you would have better suited. Favor Williams. Me just I tell you where life would have worked out more quietly for you. Favor, me just I tell you where you would have get less embarrassment. Go on a nursery, man. And everybody for run cross road. And everybody for run cross road, Favor.
Position. Jamaicans think that because the opposition lost the election, that they don't play an important role. And I think the opposition probably plays the most important role in the government. The opposition plays
Exactly.
5 roles to me. They need to hold the government accountable. That means they need to question every decision that the government make because they are our voice. Otherwise, it will be an autocracy. Number 2, they need to represent alternative views. They need to give different ideas to the ones that the government are proposing. Just because the government proposes an idea doesn't mean that it's the best. It's also good to hear the other side. Number 3, they need to protect our interests. The opposition is so important because they speak up if the government actions end up harming the public. If there was no opposition, it's a dictatorship.
Exactly, and you need somebody to keep you honest, keep you on your feet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Opposition, number 4, the opposition needs to review and challenge laws. They need to examine the bills. They are the people that, even though they were not elected as the leaders of the country, they were technically elected to examine these on our behalf while in parliament. And number 5,
learn from the ruling party's mistakes.
yeah. And people need to realize that the opposition, they are the government in waiting. They need to be ready to take over if they win the next election. Opposition is just, if not as important as the ruling party. And I feel like Jamaicans, we are so one-sided. There's no nuance to our thinking. If you question the leadership, that means you're against it. If you say that,
when it comes to the protection of the rights of the people, when it comes to the protection of our democracy, the opposition is more important than the government. Government have a way of, when you give them power, they become head swell and they start to take away more of your power and more of your rights. It is the opposition that is the guardrail of the government's intrusion on your powers and on your rights. Because when you give the government the power, in particularly the power we gave Andrew Holness from 2020 to 2025, we saw how he abused us legislatively. We saw how he abused us with the police and a lot of other dictatorial forms or autocratic forms of abuse that the Prime Minister furnished us with. So this is why an opposition in any democracy is more important than the government, because without an opposition, it would be haywire.
Why is the Prime Minister doing this? It means that you're a PMP and you don't rate the Prime Minister. No, there should never be a leader of our country that cannot answer questions or stand up to scrutiny. The fact that you're a leader, that means you should have the most scrutiny in the country, bro. And I want Jamaicans to actually think about that. When they see the opposition leader asking questions, yes, he might have his ulterior motives, but he's doing his job. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's not just being there to be difficult. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. That is how dictatorships gets formed. That is how people end up under one prime minister for 25 years, 30 years.
With no progress sometimes.
With no progress. The opposition is very important. And I guarantee you, Tony, someone is going to be watching and hearing me say this and they'll be like, that PMP boy go suck him mother. And that is all them good for when you object and
Yeah. PNP only know how to be rude. When it comes to common sense, I mean, wind not blow it in a for them direction. Common sense and JLP, Andrew Holness supporters, them and common sense go in a total different direction. But Prime Minister, I could go back to the war part and all that.
See about me not afraid of nobody. Me will go with you toe to toe. Every nonsense you talk, I will respond to it. And as you would have seen with the government, man come out with foolishness, we respond, not go so. Yeah. So make them, and as many memes as they can make, I can make it too. So it's going to be war.
Hear this. blood clot! Oh, me done talk to Bamba one. I know me I talk to a God yet.
Yeah, the Prime Minister threatened away. The Prime Minister threatened away. But yesterday, me don't know if the Prime Minister jumped out and sleep. I mean, if Mark Golden threatened him for true. But if anyone I don't know what Mark Golden tell him, say, make him jump out and sleep and say, I will not be threatened. Somebody help me, 'cause I don't know what it was about. I was totally caught off guard by that. But it is okay for the Prime Minister to threaten the nation. And the Prime Minister don't want nobody to threaten him. You can't expect me to go in silence, Prime Minister, and that's why Jamaicans right across the board is irritated by your utterance when you went to Westmoreland to open that police station. Because Prime Minister, you know, care about the people, them also Westmoreland will blow down, you know. But me notice so you make case and run go down, they go up in your big police station because you have only a cell block down there and you're ready for imprison with because you know it will come to a point where we're going to stand up. With the Marcia, he frightened out and slumber. Because something, I don't know what Mark Golden says. I honestly don't know. And I wish somebody could find that bit and clip it. Make we see a way Mark Golden threatened Andrew yesterday. But I was quite frightened when the Prime Minister said, I will not be threatened. I will not be threatened. I literally don't know where that came from. But the Prime Minister threatening us, the Prime Minister insulting vloggers and entertainers in Jamaica who showed up this Prime Minister, or phones and our care for the people or humanity shock the Prime Minister because Jamaicans never sat down and wait for an unscrupulous, incompetent, corrupt government. They mobilize into gear. Andrew Holness, I wonder if it sent a message to you, say, back to the rotted old side. If these people should one day, said the Prime Minister in his tiny little brain, come to their senses and mobilize themselves against me, I would have to have an helicopter on the top of my house waiting to escape this country. I wonder if I that you see, sir. So you want to come threaten me? Labor right. The whole are we ready. I just own a way a wait pan. Because Almighty God Andrew Holness any day the labor right, them wake up and ready for you. Any day you hear name, dear, the labor right them. The labor right them will have a plethora of company, Prime Minister, because the whole of us will bail in to pick our part of that dead meat that you, Andrew Holness, will become. Because the rest of the country really feel, you know? We want everybody on board, though, Andrew Holness. We just have to wait for the labor right them. And you know, the sensible labor rights are feeling it already. We're just waiting for the labor right them want to give the sleeping pill, Prime Minister. The labor right them want to fix the curtain and fan in them face, Prime Minister, and put them in a chance. They wonder where we at, pan. Because Prime Minister, when the labor right them ready, we just go turn back at them and push them and say, lick him, clot, lick him. Because you say as long as we the back of them and push them, Prime Minister, we know them and go clot you.
And you say, you know, in Jamaica are showing a certain light with people are scavenge for food and people are come help with care package and all these things. One thing I have to tell you about
Prime Minister, everybody you draw out, you know. That video, that tirade, Prime Minister, that you went on in Westmoreland when you went to open that police station, you have irritated Jamaicans home and abroad. This is the most serious put your foot in your mouth I've ever seen you done in public. Because everybody come out for you.
About a real authentic Jamaican, no, Mr. Holness. We not keep secret for people. We not keep secret for people. The other day, I go to Black River. And when I drive through the town and pull up right on the waterfront there, so and step out of my car. And just the image, me have to light up a career. And you see, by the time I light the career, is a man me see just come out of the rubbles in our old building. I say, yo, brown man, beg you one of them there. I'm so forward. If you see the man run, come out as a lead down, the man in there, lead down, you know. You see what take place down at Western Jamaica? The people them can get up and pick up the pieces. And to be totally frank with you know, I was shocked to go down there and see right now down there should have full of construction equipment, workers for all, but the whole of them Chinese that we are come to Jamaica come make billions off of we for we society a build road in our country, though it is going to be ours. Me not talk about down the line. The whole of the equipment that we are cut out mountains to build toll road for no collection at the down at Black River. Me go to Black River, not even one sign of aid, not even one sign of assistance. Mr. Holness, real authentic Jamaicans not keep secret for people, and this is not about keeping up with appearances. The amount of aid, me I hear news the other day say none of the aid money no start spend yet. When me circle Black River, I go through Santa Cruz and all of them places, me see people on the front with water buckler, wave down vehicle, like water they want. And what kind of secret you want the people them to keep for no, Mr. Holness? Big man thing. Me no political, I me no go down the road there. But uno linger. And as in the words of Terry Linen, this is no time to linger. Me go down there, the people them cannot pick up the pieces and move on without assistance. So why take so long? Instead of you putting out the necessary and requisite help that is needed to get the situation curtailed, I can't tell if you keep secret for you, Mr. Holness. Big man thing. Big man thing. Come on, man. Come on, man. Why take the progress so long? The whole of the equipment they want to have a chop through mountains so you can collect toll from the Jamaican people to drive across their own country. Them they should have there Black River. Them they should have there.
Marbury Lloyd said, Brown man, aka Malbury is my neighbor, and they support the JLP. At least he's not biased. The well-thinking JLP supporters are waking up. Holness, when Holness went down to Westmoreland, where they and try to be the only bad man in a Jamaica. The Prime Minister don't know how much people get angry in a Jamaica, how much well-thinking Jamaican, and this is outside of the whole politics of it. This is the disrespect of it. This is how the Prime Minister left Jamaicans hungry, thirsty, homeless, and displaced, surrounded by filth and dead animals and dead people, and went off to South Africa, go remortgage with it free. And then he never see. When he reached all the way to South Africa and thought, look upon Jamaica for foreign, kind of Jamaica when in the home, and don't go to Jamaica when in the foreign. The Prime Minister said, man, Jamaica, look at my people queuing and struggling and running to get food. But what about if when you came back home, Prime Minister, flies were flying out of your people's mouth? Your people, Prime Ministers, was emaciated on the roadside. What would an image that would have been, Prime Minister? You remember the images of 1980s from Ethiopia? Was that the images you hope to return to? Because it was better to return to an image of Jamaicans running and scouring for food, Prime Minister, than returning to an image with flies flying out of our mouth, isn't it? You crooked old sod.
And you say now in Jamaica are showing a certain light with people are scavenge for food and people are come help with care package and all these things. One thing I have to tell you about a real authentic Jamaican, Mr. Holness. We not keep secret for people. We not keep secret for people. The other day I go to Black River. And when I drive through the town and pull up right on the waterfront there. So
the government is abusing us in Southwest St. Elizabeth. The government is abusing us in Black River. The government is abusing us in Parity. Parity and Black River is two of the worst hit places in this disaster. Everybody silence. Nobody no member. The Prime Minister said, oh, a mistake. Me make when me go down, they go declare Black River as grown zero. Members say we not go pay no attention to Black River. We're going to left them destitute and frustrated because we want to show them so they have to run off of the land. We make we take a bill with city and with South Coast tourism. So we have Floyd Green, Big Titty Fifi, Fiona Beswick, Floyd Green, Big Titty Fifi. When will St. Elizabeth Southwest get representation in relation to the Melissa relief effort? Parity still cut off Floyd Green. Parity people are suffer Floyd Green. Black River people are suffer. And not a word of representation from Floyd Green. Jamaica people, the constituency of Southwest St. Elizabeth, one of the worst hard hit. A constituency that most of it sits on a coastline, battered. If you see the building them in my community, not one iota of representation from Floyd Green. And the Prime Minister checked with her if he shut up.
And you say now in Jamaica are showing a certain light with people are scavenge for food and people are come help with care package and all these things. One thing I have to tell you about a real authentic Jamaican, Mr. Holness. We not keep secret for people. We not keep secret for people. The other day I go to Black River. And when I drive through the town and pull up right on the waterfront there, so I'm step out of my car. And just the image me have to light up a career. And you see, by the time I light the career, is a man me see just come out of the rubbles in our old building. I say, yo, brown man, beg you one of them there. I'm so forward. If you see the man run, come out as a lead on the man in there, lead on, you know. You see what take place down at Western Jamaica? The people them can get up and pick up the pieces. And to be totally frank with you know, I was shocked to go down there and see right now down there should have full of construction equipment, workers for all, but the whole of them Chinese that we are come to Jamaica come make billions off of we through society a build road in our country, though it is going to be ours. Me not talk about down the line. Me talk the whole of the equipment that we are cut out mountains to build toll road for no collection that it down a Black River. Me go a Black River, not even one sign of aid, not even one sign of assistance. Mr. Holness, real authentic Jamaicans not keep
refresh your system, Pauline.
And this is not about keeping up with appearances. The amount of aid, me I hear news the other day say none of the aid money not start spend yet. When me circle Black River, I go through Santa Cruz and all of them places, me see people on the front with water backla wave down vehicle, little water they want. And what kind of secret they want the people them to keep for them, Mr. Holness? Big man thing. Me not political, I me not go down the road there. But uno linger. And as in the words of Terry Linen, this is no time to linger. Me go down there, The people them cannot pick up the pieces and move on without assistance. So why take so long? Instead of you putting out the necessary and requisite help that is needed to get the situation curtailed, I can tell
Get well soon, Elder Fletcher.
Big man thing. Big man thing. Come on, man. Come on, man. Why take the progress so long? The whole of the equipment they want to have a chop through month.
Got Blackwood. Whose number do you need? Global TV's number?
Mountain sound can collect toll from the Jamaican people to drive across their own country. Them they should have there Black River. Them they should have there Westmoreland. Them they should up a Maroon Town, Namibia. What are you going with?
1 second. Where are the numbers? No, hold on. Bear with me. I need to put it in so it can stand up on the screen. Oh, no, come off. Those are the numbers on screen for you. 1144 755 118 3131 or 114 7956 907 089. Wholeness left with his suffer because wholeness signing ungodly agenda to develop South Coast tourism and to build new city in a St. Elizabeth. And wholeness signing ungodly galangin. Wholeness got all sort of debt from the international community, which your children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, those of us living now, will be paying back into eternity. And wholeness are going like a something for we celebrate. Wholeness are going like he managed Jamaica well, so here they put you in debt for about 10, 20 generations to come. And we're going to revisit what the Prime Minister, part of the Prime Minister's speech yesterday, because the Prime Minister explained like a something to celebrate. And the Prime Minister now telling us, say, him not only put on in a debt, but him hand on over to the IMF and the World Bank. Because not a decision in this going forward will be made policy-wise in Jamaica. This is why you see they're so confused when they're reading to us. Because these documents are coming from the IMF, the World Bank, and the United Nations and the World Health Organization. So by the time you get to them, they don't study it properly. So they come in front of we can sit down with the nonsense and embarrass themselves and the country and call themselves representatives. But Prime Minister, you will say if you take time, give. Prime Minister, you will say, if you turn up in a dark and tap people on the shoulder, so nobody knows to say where I give them. Remember, see, you set the standard, Prime Minister. Look at how you treat Jamaicans and taxpayer money. Look at how you treat what society would call destitute Jamaicans, Prime Minister. With tax money. This is not a time of crisis, Prime Minister. And bear in mind that this is recent.
The social housing program has done very well. We're over 310 houses under the social housing program. We have about another 80 or so in construction or in other phases of procurement. Yes. So all of the houses stood up very well. I believe there are 2 houses which were flooded, but those were really, really flooded. The water all the way up to the roof of the house.
Wow.
Yes. But they're still standing, still strong. Yeah. So
based on what Andrew Holness just said to you, this is the house where Andrew Holness was signed over since Melissa, isn't it? Possible since the Prime Minister traced way off. I don't know exactly what date, but it's possible since the Prime Minister traced way off. The Prime Minister used our tax money and go give a host to a Jamaican and show the world. Oh, I wonder if because we never tie balloon and ribbon pan we sending them and bread table. I wonder if that's so we need for the Prime Minister make we know. Make we know if I do it, if we do it good, or we not do it none at all. Make we know if I misunderstand, we misunderstand you. Say, a good if we do it, or we not do it at all. But when that push your Prime Minister to stop handing out care package and transfer to Vulture, it no look ulterior motive-ish look to your Prime Minister? Talk it out if that no look ulterior motive-ish. Oh, pal, oh, you do. Talk truth. If you so embarrassed that you say, no, we're not going to give them food package because it look bad. Where I give them house pan camera for Prime Minister? If you don't want we get food pan camera, why you want we get house pan camera? Everything must make you look good. Everything must be about you, Mr. Chief Narcissist. Chief Narcissist, is it that it must be about you only? Why it's okay for you to use the taxpayers' money, Prime Minister? Remember, so the people that might use either for them money or money with donors, what then donors get to them, you know. Yeah, use the taxpayer money. Yeah, use the taxpayer money. And you are walking embarrassed. So you know, think when you walk and take up these children and these family and put them on house and make them say everybody didn't sit a squalor you live in and will come to your rescue. You don't think that look bad to the world as well? The rest of government them will give social housing or give state housing to them people. Which other government Andrew Holness say take the nation and put on camera and say you were living in squalor and here we are, your Mother Teresa. Bastards. Bastards.
the social housing program has done very well. We're over 310 houses under the social housing program. We have about another 80 or so in construction or in other phases of procurement. Yes. So all of the houses stood up very well.
See, Summer say, at the same day, hey, Summer, welcome. At the same day when Andrew Holness go up in the police station and threaten away, Lord, then how must we not conclude that the Prime Minister, Donald Trump, good morning. Good morning, Donald Trump. Which young people from over the globe would you have sacrificed and take out their heart and transplant? Come and see one thing, a circle. Mr. One thing, a circle. Say find your cardiologist. We say your heart perfectly normal, Donald Trump. This cardiologist need a box in her face. You know when Nigerian a box you, then box your palm both back. We use them 2 hands and box both sides of your face at the same time. And that needs to happen to your cardiologist. Remember though, Donald Trump. Remember that when Biden, psychiatrists or whatever, they'd come out and say, Biden is cognitively Biden was there, shitting on himself, pissing on himself, and talking to him bloody self. So, okay, Donald Trump, should we use Biden to read your cardiology result? I mean, whose children would you have sacrificed and have done a heart transplant for you to have fairly normal aortas and arteries? Donald Trump, get on with it, bastards.
The social housing program has done very well. We're over 310 houses under the social housing program. We have about another 80 or so in construction or in other phases of procurement. Yes. So all of the houses stood up very well. I believe there are 2 houses which were flooded, but those were really, really flooded. High up the water all the way up to the roof of the house. Wow. Yes. But they're still standing, still strong. Yeah. So it's a really good program that's done well. However, we're going to recraft a new social housing program. All the houses that we have approved to be built, we will build them. But going forward, we will have to recraft how the program works. Because right around you, look at your neighbor. And just on this road, almost all the houses are damaged. So we're going to restructure the program to look at doing rapidly deployed building solutions.
Prime Minister, I live in what is a social housing as well in the United Kingdom. But the British government cannot go there and tell any old Charlie that information. Because that, you see, Prime Minister, I'm protected by Article 8 of the Human Rights Act. Protection for my family life, my private life, my home, Prime Minister, and my correspondence, you see. So if the British government does that, I can sue them for violation of Article 8, you see. But there's nothing stopping you from doing it, even when you battered us and batter us not to do it.
I see so many pictures of persons giving out packages. And it is becoming almost the in thing now on social media. Everybody's giving out a package.
The same in thing where you take with tax. I'm sorry. The same in thing where you take with tax money and turn in put Jamaicans on camera, embarrass them, show with the old house where you go find them in and show with the new house where you put them in.
No, I think in the initial days it's necessary. But I'm also very concerned about the dignity of our people. You know, I don't like my country to be shown as people running to get food, running to get fighting over a package and those kind. I don't like that. And it creates a kind of mentality that is not Jamaican. We are independent people at heart. You know, we are independent. We're not supposed to be doing handout. Now, yes, we are in a place where we need to do relief, but we must never give up our dignity. So if you have to give, you don't have to, make it, just give that quietly, man. Give that quietly. Help the people who are in distress preserve their dignity. And the people who are in this
keyword, give quietly. I don't want to convince me, say Andrew Holness no mad. I don't want to try to convince me, say Andrew Holness don't mad. Andrew Holness just sit down in the same visit and give a one affair with us in the glare of public camera. And then when Andrew Holness shame, Andrew Holness in the same Westmoreland turn around and tell us, say, give the hungry people them food quiet, don't make too much noise. We don't give them food, them turn off on a damn phone and take that whisper and attack. Give quietly, said the Prime Minister. Give quietly. Would for them own money in the Prime Minister? Or with donor money? Because I see yesterday in the Parliament, when you want to get accountability for the money, when I got tell about PNP, I collect money, and PNP, people for ask PNP for accountability. We don't want to know about PNP money. PNP money is between PNP and their donors. PNP money, whoever donate to the PNP for different MPs help them people, that's between PNP and their donors. That has nothing to do with us, the people of Jamaica, because the PNP is not soliciting funds on behalf of the government or on behalf of the nation. They're soliciting funds as an organization to help their people that you have forgotten and cheated and politicized with the aid. That's the reason. So that's not our business. That's between the PNP and those in Jamaica and the diaspora who are donating to them. All right? So stop twist the thing. We're not fool like, we're not dunce like, we're not labor right. There's a saying out there, say, not every labor right is a dunce, but every dunce is certainly a labor right. Or not two dunce. Or not take the dunceness, like I say, as something we can nationalize and put it on calendar and celebrate every year time. We not go too far with the dunceness now, labor right. Yes, you allow a certain level of dunceness, a certain level of antics, and a certain level of idleness. But there are times when you need to straighten up yourself, labor rights. You can't dunce out the thing through the whole time, so. Or is it someone who play hypocrisy? Someone who play that willfully dunce? Or that academically dunce?
stress, remember your dignity. So, which is why I announced a week ago that we are going to transition from giving out of packages, because it's becoming highly political. Who never get, and if you go to a man's place and then him say, oh, you never call me to go give package with you, and you only give to that. Look.
You should have shame. You should have shame, say, rather than explaining a plan to the people how you are going to coordinate with the political operatives on the ground, nationally and locally, to get the resources well coordinated. You are going to stop it because you embarrass. You are going to stop it because you are being showed up. Thief. 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 Xavier may need to resign from the Ministry of Finance. We can no longer have Xavier May looking over. Thiefing Andrew. Out order. We're not going to make your thief in a quiet. This your time, yeah. you got thief under a cloud and eyes. In a COVID, your thief in a quiet. In a burial, your thief in a quiet. This time you got thief in the eyes. This time you got put on the bag or you got thief in the eyes. It is your choice. But this year time, you now go get for thief in a silence and the wholeness. We will not.
The amount of, the funny thing is this. The amount of JLP people who call me to say, PMP MPs get package and don't come to them. And I said, look, I don't want a political issue. Don't bother make no noise over that. Don't make no noise over that. Right? It is disgusting that persons would want.
All right. In this video, the Prime Minister spoke about our dignity and how we are an independent people and all that jazz that the Prime Minister and his choir regularly sings. Listen to the Prime Minister of an independent nation, the Prime Minister of people who their dignity ought to be preserved. This Prime Minister has just handed over us to the international community. This Prime Minister went to the international community with his begging bowl and he has signed us over, indebted for the rest of our life, controlled by the IMF, the World Bank, and the United Nations. None of our leaders going henceforth will be able to make policies in our interests, though they never make none in our interest for morning. But we have been re-signed. Members say the Americans them say China invest too much in Jamaica. Remember me telling you 2023, so the Americans them give Andrew ultimatum, roll back China investment, or we will take back control of Jamaica. So the Americans them create the hurricane and mash up Jamaica and take back over control of Jamaica and put their investment forward and box your uncle. The Americans have full control again of an independent nation.
Madam Speaker, the international community has responded to Jamaica with remarkable solidarity, urgency, and confidence. Yesterday, the 1st of December 2025, the international financial institutions, the IMF, the World Bank, the Inter-American Development Bank, the Development Bank of Latin America and the Caribbean Development Bank, jointly announced a 3-year coordinated financing package of up to $6.7 billion to support Jamaica's US dollars, to support Jamaica's recovery, reconstruction, and long-term resilience. Madam Speaker, even before the announcement of this substantial international financing package, we already had in place a multi-layered disaster risk financing framework, which was the product of years of strategic planning, disciplined financial management, and proactive investment in resilience. This framework enabled rapid early response and the immediate mobilization of liquidity to meet the most urgent needs following Hurricane Melissa within days. Jamaica activated several.
We don't know what you're talking about. We don't know what you're talking about because to date, we haven't seen anything from you. We don't know what you're talking about. You regularly jump out of your sleep and talk whatsoever you're talking about. We don't know. Then something where you say you're mobilized. Then something where you say you're mobilized in a days. We will get back to your Prime Minister. Let's take a commercial break and then we'll get back to the PM in Parliament. Wicked old thief. Wicked old thief. Violet Watson, thank you for your contribution. You've always been a good and great support to Global TV. Thank you very much. We'll get back to the PM, won't we?
What is Zion? All the way. you can't show the road for me. I don't take the time from nobody. Just come on.
Andrew! Buju said if you carry the message around the road, so see it ya. See we are Prime Minister, Buju give you a message for carry around the road, come give you. We come with the message this morning. John Crow.
So the Prime Minister of Jamaica said, in some video, with people like you were all kind of things with Jamaican people. But I'm an American and I don't see the Prime Minister giving out one blood clot. I see this is signal. I see Shaggy. I see Sean Paul. I see Usain Bolt. So driver, I want your chance to go run the road for me.
Mr. Holness, the whole of the outside.
Make sure they get to move to stand and make sure they're posting up teeth nothing.
Look down with
Lord of mercy. Put up your hand. Mr. Morris, do us, driver. No, stop. Promise.
And the wholeness of whole away outside.
Hold on, the top of that. You're on the blood clot. Are you a top of shot to this? Silent Money. He's a new champion and rate you. You're going to do big things and big things are rate you. So top of shot, I've been setting the foundation and laying it for years. Without years.
Buju said we out the road.
Lord mercy. I'll span glass easy. I'll show man easy. I two gang in a Jamaica. I have an external phone and a single chip. Any problem you can reach me on this. I'm out of my mind when I touch on a ship. Be like glass, roll like chocolate. When it's a you be some extra front chip. And I'm in line savings and the rent money you can drink and beer. Roll on a split. When I hear me say, murderer.
Van! We outside. We outside. Buju send me with a message. So you could have locked your window and draw your curtain, Prime Minister Vaz. We outside this morning. Yeah? We outside. So open your window and prep. Draw the curtain and prep, Prime Minister. Buju saying don't see you though. Shegal, Prime Minister. Shegal for Melissa. And you run out with your embarrassment. John Crow, you never even said thanks to Jamaicans who wipe the dirty matter out of your eye and make you look like a somebody. And you come with your rancid old breath and have the nerve to want to insult Jamaicans. Any day you see we group up against your Prime Minister, it shall be the calamity, the long overdue calamity, Prime Minister. We're going to meet you around corner one day. You see like how Buju send we outside here now? Prime Minister, you see like how Buju send we outside and you're there behind something and hide like when Juliet Wellness did draw the gun on you? Crack your window and peep. Prime Minister, we're outside. Andrew Holness, we're outside.
Heart in Zion, all the way, here, thy kingdom come on earth, thine will be. Hallelujah. I want you can't show the road for me. I don't take the time from nobody. Just come on and go, sister. So the Prime Minister of Jamaica said, in some video, with people like you were all kind of things with Jamaican people. But I'm an American and I don't see the Prime Minister giving out one blood clot. I see this is signal. I see Shaggy. I see Sean Paul. I see Usain Bolt. So driver, I want your chance to go run the road for me.
Prime Minister, we're outside.
And when you find them, make sure them get to move to stand and make sure they're posting up teeth nothing. Outside. Everybody worry and put up your hand. This is rise and toast China. No stop.
Crack you with the if you're bad, babe. Crack you in the outside.
You want the blood clot. Are you a Kabasha to do this? Silent Annie. He's a new champion and we rate you. You're going to do big things and big things are rate you. So Kabasha, I've been setting the foundation and laying it for years. You don't years.
Come on.
Lord mercy. I'll span glass easy. I'll show man easy. I two gang in a Jamaica.
Prime Minister, the amount of people that have joined this war that you have declared, I think you're probably sorry by now. Huh? I think you're sorry by now. This war that you have declared against us, I think you're sorry by now, or I slip your mouth slip.
Next time, hold on, I'll send you a chip. Any problem you can reach me on this. I'm holding my mind when I touch on a ship. Be like glass, blow like chocolate. Feelings are you be so make step from trip. And I'll be like every time you bend money you can. Drink a beer, blow on a split. When you miss.
To all of the labor rights, I see from the other day you lot are climbing the star apple tree and hanging on to Buju and trying to pull him down. All right, continue. No politician in Jamaica have the influence and following of Buju Banton. None, but none, but none. You could have pulled, you could have draw, you could have drug. Una go jump out of the star apple tree with possible piece of thing closing on a hand, but certainly, this government, in a words of war against Buju Banton, who for side you think we are going to depend government? Government, don't stop at all.
Juliet, rise up to us. All right, then.
Happy Grace. Prime Minister, we're outside. Let's get back to the PM in Parliament of the independent nation.
Within days, Jamaica activated several instruments across our risk financing architecture. We had approximately Jamaican 5.3 billion in the contingencies fund and 1 billion in the National Natural Disaster Reserve Fund. We received US 91 million from the Caribbean Catastrophe Risk Insurance Facility, CRIF, one of the largest payouts ever made in the region. And then we had the US $150 million under the catastrophe bond, triggered immediately based upon parametric thresholds. In addition, we had US $285 million available through the IDB's contingent credit facility for rapid liquidity support, which was upsized to $300 million, and US $42 million scalable to US $84 million available on request under the World Bank's catastrophe deferred drawdown option. Madam Speaker, this totals approximately US $662 million in liquidity that was available almost immediately following the hurricane. This is the very definition of planning, preparedness, and responsible governance. Our multi-layered approach ensured that Jamaica did not wait helplessly for external support. We were prepared and ready to act, ready to deliver, and ready to protect our people. However, Madam Speaker, the scale of the disaster is without precedent in our history. The widespread infrastructure damage, displacement of thousands of families, the destruction of livelihoods, and the long-term economic impacts mean that
Master Esther Wagwan, long time no say, oh you do, welcome. When me tell you say this Junkrat double talk, talks. This drunkard, you have to read him inside out. Because this same drunkard will tell you, say, we're independent nation with dignity. When you talk, you have to stretch out your hand. When you talk, Prime Minister, you have to stretch out your hand because you're always a beg and you're always a thief, and people not thief and beg with their hand at the inside. Prime Minister. Prime Minister, people not thief and beg with their hand at the inside. So if you stretch out your hand when you talk, because you're a beggar and you're a thief. Prime Minister, you're a beggar and you're a thief. So when you talk, if you stretch out your hand, because people can't thief where beg with their hand at the inside. Oh, thief.
Additional financing is required to support the reconstruction effort and to build a more resilient Jamaica. It is against this backdrop of strong national preparedness.
Master I don't know when we will recover because Andrew Holness and Floyd Green and Donald Trump and the United Nations attempt to wipe my community and my local township off of the map is a very disturbing thing. And to see the government and the whole of them have turned them back on Parity and Black River like nothing happened there when they lick down all our building there, whatever on Japan we down there. Whatever America on Japan we down there, whatever Andrew Holness, you sign off pan for the American them Japan we down there. It's there for the world to see. Everybody got St. Elizabeth. You see nobody will go down to St. Elizabeth say this is a hurricane. Everybody go down there say this is a war zone. This is a disaster. Something drop pan them down here. Andrew Holness, we're still alive. Isn't that shocking, Prime Minister? Prime Minister, isn't that shocking to see the onslaught where you care with you and we are still alive? Shaken but not broken, Prime Minister.
That the international community has now rallied behind Jamaica, recognizing that we are not merely seeking help.
All the traits.
We are ready to lead, ready to rebuild, and ready to transform. Madam Speaker, the US $6.7 billion financing announced yesterday has three main components. US $3.6 billion in sovereign debt financing. This is for the government to execute the National Recovery and Reconstruction Program over the next 3 years and includes up to $1 billion each from the World Bank, IDB, and CAF. US $415 million from the IMF under the large natural disaster window of the RFI, and US $200 million from...
Marcia, I understand, but we have to record this. This is history. This is the Prime Minister handing us over to the IMF and the World Bank. This is the Prime Minister putting us in debt for generations and generations to come, and still have the nerve to turn up on a call. We're independent nation, a nation with dignity. Where is the dignity when you give over for free? Where the dignity there when you take we up and your car we go all the way to South Africa go give over for free?
From the CDB.
We never uttered a word of reparations on African soil. Not a word. But you remarked you just for free, Prime Minister. You never even took out nothing from away.
The Caribbean Development Bank. The second category of funding, second component of funding, would be US $2.4 billion in private capital mobilization. IDB Invest, the International Finance Corporation, and the Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency will mobilize private investment through public-private partnership models. Madam Speaker, it is important to note that mobilizing private capital will be critical not only to scale up recovery efforts, but
Cliff Hughes can say it is great, Opal, because a lot of the money that will be laundered in this thing, Cliff Hughes will assist the government. Cliff Hughes, yes, we know say you're a money launderer. Cliff Hughes will be assisting the government with a lot of the money laundering. We are going to go on for the next 3 years. We watch the space.
Also, to preserve.
We have to record the money pan ya, then soon robot it. Then soon robot it for half of them part. When cyber attack and start trouble them, so we have to record it pan few part. So when they rub it out of them book, we have in a few.
Fiscal space. It is not intended for the sovereign debt pool. It is not intended, Madam Speaker, for the sovereign.
I like Cliff Hughes, lie and wicked. Are the money laundering Cliff Hughes a celebrate? How can you celebrate something where somebody I give you, them I go tell you how to use it, what you can do with it, when you can do with it, what that to celebrate about? When your children who your children them were just born now, for them grandchildren still go pay back that money. What is there to celebrate? When we have given over all any sovereignty that we had is given up now with this loan, because the World Bank and the IMF makes their decisions. Cliff them not telling us that. But Andrew Holness is going to tell you at the end here, the policy advice and all of them things. They dress it up would say policy advice and all of that. No, it's not a policy advice, it's a policy direction. There's a difference to a policy advice and a policy direction. You probably don't have to follow a policy advice, but a policy direction you must follow, Prime Minister. Stop bullshitting us.
Debt pool and the private financing pool will operate independent of each other. The plan is to use innovative public-private partnership solutions and structures that blend public and private finance and expertise throughout the recovery and reconstruction process. The third component would be grants and technical assistance. The third important component of the overall financing package would see the 5 institutions committing to provide technical assistance.
Well, let me answer this question. Bet with J.A. The only money he talked about from our pool is what we had in the contingency fund, which is about 6 billion Jamaican dollars, plus the various different insurance, the CREF insurance, which we got 91 million out of, and then the CAT bond, which we got 150 million US. But you know, the Prime Minister taking 150 million US in JPS. Hey, Jesus.
And policy advice services. This would include, they would provide, Madam Speaker, policy advisory services, which would be funded by grants.
Policy advisory service. Policy advisory service. Prime Minister, that's more like policy directions, not policy advisory. Policy advisory, you don't really have to follow, but a policy direction, though, Prime Minister, you must follow. Stop bullshitting us. Many of us went to law school and know how to play on words. Don't do that shit. We're around here. Remember, say we're outside, Prime Minister. Remember, say we're outside.
That draw on global experience and best practices in disaster response. So far, US 12.
I want whole Audrey Marks. And I want to take some baby wipes and I want to wipe off Audrey face. I want a dime to see Audrey face. A dime to see Audrey Marks face. But leave that aside. Make we hurry up and get the junk out of people them face.
$1 billion in grants would have already been mobilized from the IDB, the World Bank Group, and the CAF, with more to come. Madam Speaker, these 3 components, in addition to the US 662 million that was already available, is what makes up the overall financing package of 6.7 billion US dollars. This is the single largest and most comprehensive development financing package ever assembled for Jamaica.
No, that's another lie. A development package Prime Minister, you know, say you're going to make me get angry this morning, though. A development package is quite much different, Prime Minister, from a reconstruction package. The development package, it is something that would have served before Melissa to develop our infrastructure and all that jazz to make us more resilient. Let me use one of your favorite words that you like to use, resilient. But a reconstruction package, as what we are in now, Prime Minister, is to reconstruct us back to where we were before Melissa. Dog shit. Jankro. Me go to school, you know. I pay attention to education, Prime Minister. Prime Minister, before I went to university, I was qualified on the street first. Stop it. Stop it. You're making yourself look so stupid when you stand up and speak to us like that. But then the junker journalists, them at Jamaica, who love to lick boots, scratch butt, pickpocket, and all of that. No, they're not saying thing, yeah. They just make you talk, so for no reason at all. This is why you all are not making sense.
It gives us
we so move the junker,
liquidity,
we so moving
the fiscal space, and the multi-year investment framework required to rebuild stronger and more secure for our future. Securing support of this magnitude within 1 month of Hurricane Melissa is nothing short of historic. It reflects sustained, direct, and proactive engagement at the highest level.
You can't even read what the World Bank right for you. You can't even read what they write for you. You even struggle to read what they write for you. But Jamaicans, what you ought to take note of is the jubilant celebration on the government's bench. Because what the jubilation is about, all heap of people.
You know what happens to all this money and supplies.
All
The
heap
most
of people are going to turn multi-billionaire, like the Prime Minister and Chris Tufton became multi-billionaires after their heist during COVID. So it's not that they're cheering that something good is being done here for Jamaica. They're cheering because Puss Sibota, Puss a lick them out. All heap of people are going to get rich. We know how the score is. But are we going to plan to stand up and chop off them head one over with money? When them thief off with money and left we in a squalor and say a lie Pamela Monroe Ellis tell, are we going to plan to chop their head off? It's a question that we need to start asking ourselves from now and start by with machete and sharpen them, put down like we're fucking fool.
You know what happens to all this money and supplies. The most loving thing we can do for the devastated victims of Hurricane Melissa is to call out foolishness, call out incompetence, call out thiefness right now, not 2 years down the line. The most unifying thing we can do right now is to look beyond.
Yes, Prime Minister. We'll make your teeth in a nice this time. We not say you know for teeth, you know, because we can't tap you. Because if we could have tapped you, we would have tapped you a long time. You're so thief that you even thief a whole election from the nation. You thief your very own seat. Forget to come thief the money where you know say they are going to come. You can steal, but not in silence, Prime Minister. Prime Minister, you can steal, but not in silence. Not this time. We give you 2 opportunity already. This your chip round a fi we. A fi we time now. We have our own forums. We don't have to wait for call Nationwide, CVN, JBC, and RGR, and all of the broke down station them in Jamaica. Broke down set of bastards.
The bag of words being spewed all over the place, and look at what is actually happening, and to make noise and call it out when the two don't match. Now look, I'm not the only person to raise this. A lot of very qualified and very eminent people have already raised this issue of accountability as a concern. In a joint letter to Prime Minister Andrew Holness dated November 2, 2025,
and we've read that letter on here already.
Jamaica, the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce, and the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, and stick a pin to point out that these are the top business people in the entire country, and they are raising the issue of accountability and transparency right from the get-go. They said within the next...
Everybody know Andrew a thief. Everybody sits at the butter shipping. How can you leave the butter next to the puss without keep making noise so the puss can be aware that I am watching the butter? Prime Minister, you're not thief in a silence this time. You see the war where you declare upon with Prime Minister, we're drying it. Prime Minister, we're outside. You know, you will do much you think we're not upon your gate. You're not thief in a silence this time. We're resolute upon that. You have to go kill we. We make up with mind, Prime Minister. You're not going to steal when I say you can't thief, you know. We don't say Andrew Holness can't thief. Because we can't have Andrew Holness for thief. My God, if we could have stopped him. So on the top, we'll tap you. We are just saying, we now go just sit down so and make your teeth just so, like how your teeth in a COVID and your teeth in a burial. I feel with time this time, Andrew. So all of you are sharpen up, oil up, clean up, and spray down. Get on with it, because we still are going to talk. We're going to make the load nice. Prime Minister, we're going to tell the lie upon you. Prime Minister, we're going to carry false information upon you. Prime Minister, we're going to do everything to draw you down because you're not good for our country. Prime Minister, you're a thief. Prime Minister, you're a crook. You're a criminal. Prime Minister, you're there in front of the court for stolen money. Prime Minister, illicit enrichment to eat out of stolen corruption, drugs, trafficking, or something. PM. Hey, you're in a court for thief election, PM. So what is it that you want to keep in a silence? The international community don't already where they may hide from. And to Holness, the international community only bother about crook when crook don't follow them orders. Them not too bother you about, you know, because you follow them orders. Don't? Step out of line, no, Jankro. Jankro, step out of line. Jankro, just step out of line, no? Step out of line and say how quick the seal indictment waiting at the Justice Department with the special prosecutor. Step out of line, Andrew Holness. I dare you. And see how quick the Americans them have you in. They would have sent plane down your field. You think a poor people picking you alone, Americans are going to send plane down your field? You bloody thief. But we fit on silence and make your teeth quiet. We're not doing it. We're not going to do it. You heard us? If you didn't heard us, then you need to clean out your ears and listen again. We're not going to do it. We're not going to let you steal in silence because that is what you want. I hit at the bad man show. I hit at the bully boy show, and I hit at the threat. Where are going to do with your police them? But on a tight uniform police, on a hungry little weak body soldier, one can't deal with disaster. We're not ready. We're ready, you know. And if you don't know no take over power from Andrew Holness, the people of Jamaica will support you. One thing we can tell you about that. We will support to take power of Jamaica temporarily for at least a year until we can restructure ourselves and start again. But we need to make a move, Jamaica. Army and people, we need to make a move. We're running out of time. What the hell are you waiting for?
We know what happens to all this money and supplies. The most loving thing we can do for the devastated victims of Hurricane Melissa is to call out foolishness, call out incompetence, call out thiefness right now, not 2 years down the line. The most unifying thing we can do right now is to look beyond the bag of words being spewed all over the place and look at what is actually happening and to make noise and call it out when the two don't match. Now, look, I'm not the only person to raise this. A lot of very qualified and very eminent people have already raised this issue of accountability as a concern.
Hey, Dean Jackson Miller and Buju Banton are two of the labor right biggest target right now. You know? Oh, I tell you, they're going for Buju and Dean like hell.
In a joint letter to Prime Minister Andrew Holness dated November 2, 2025, the private sector organization of Jamaica, the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce and the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, and stick a pin to point out that these are the top business people in the entire country, and they are raising the issue of accountability and transparency right from the get-go. They said within the next 7 days, we propose a formation of an oversight and recovery committee comprising representatives of government, opposition, private sector, civil society to ensure transparency, national unity, and collective leadership in the rebuilding effort. Then we had the founder and CEO of King Alarm, John Azar, and an op-ed making a similar suggestions, saying yes, whole heap of aid coming in, but there's some amount of apprehension in the foreign media already citing residents' concern about the sourcing, management, and distribution processes. He said, given Jamaica's unfortunate history of political tribalism and corruption, these concerns cannot be ignored. There are also questions being asked if the money and items donated are actually going to be distributed to those in need in the worst affected areas. He said, make every effort right now to assure donors that all funds given through legitimate channels will be distributed fairly and priority given to those who have been most adversely affected. He called for proper accounting records, and he said in the spirit of both unity and transparency, as well as to remove any perception of uncertainty, the government should consider the formation of a bipartisan oversight body to supervise managing and distributing all donations received, and that should consist of members of the government, opposition, NGOs, community, and church leaders. And attorney at law and former chair of the PNP Human Rights Committee, Clyde Williams, is proposing that a special law be passed to be called something like the Melissa Recovery Act or whatever else. And part of the purpose of that legislation should be to ensure accountable, transparent reconstruction. Also, one of the functions of an organization that would be leading the recovery effort that would be created would be to audit all funds and publish public quarterly reports.
Yeah. Andrew Holness, everybody I watch, the international community, the private sector.
You know what?
Everybody PM is watching. Everybody wants the accountability, PM. And you know why, PM? Because we realize what happened, particularly in COVID. We saw how much you jilted the nation in COVID. The nation realized, Prime Minister, the financial disgrace you have been in since you thief up all of that money, because you can't talk where you get it from. The country, Prime Minister, already knows that you cannot be trusted with charity money or donation money because you will use it by bonds and hedge funds. PM, we're outside. Prime Minister, this war that you have declared, whoa, you know how long we live in the trench span, the front line, Prime Minister? MPM, And if you wonder what the MPM means, it means Mad Prime Minister. MPM, you know how long me lay down on the front line in the trenches? So to hear you declare war, Prime Minister, what a glory. What a glory. So the whole world can say, I know we started. We just have to defend ourselves. No, Sir Andrew. MPM, the whole world, isn't it? MPM. The whole world can say, I know we started, you know. The most the world can say, the madman run him out, and we follow the madman. That's the most the world can say. The madman run him out, and we follow. Let's call him TPM. Merlin says she call you TPM. Because me have to call him MPM, because the things that we Andrew say and do, sensible people don't do and say them. And then what is frightening about it is how he and they wants to be applauded for the fuckery. And when they say we not applaud them, they come out and then tap themselves on them back, and especially Dana Dixon. You know, she with the dirty, smelly hair. I don't know. Oh, forgot she take off the wig and I hang up on the bed pole, and then she take you and put back on a morning time. So maybe the overnight sweat. Dana Dixon. Andrew, everybody I watch you. Andrew, everybody I watch you. But my final message to Jamaica this morning comes from Marcus Garvey. Unite. Unite or perish. Thank you very much for being here with us this morning on Global TV. Lovely to have your support as always. Thank you very much all. Violet Watson, thanks for your donation. Thank you all. Thank you. Join us back this evening, because, you know, we're on the front line, in the trenches, and if a war. Thank you. Good morning and good afternoon.
Ghetto, run, keep going on, let's process. For children of Israel do really love rights. So just as I and I as a watching man, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace. What wrong is going on? Day or night. We gonna bust down Babylon walls. Prepare every the way. Prepare every the way for your people. Let's go. Fight down war and crime. Fight down war and crime. Say Rastafari. War and crime. And do that righteousness. And we love Jah. And we love Jah. Jah Rastafari. And we love Jah. Jah Rastafari. And we love Jah. We love Jah. Jah Rastafari. We love Jah. Jah Rastafari. Preserve all people. Put time away. Put time away again. Listen. Yeah. So just as I and I as a watching man, I run Babylonian walls. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold thy peace while we penalize day or night. We gonna bust down Babylon gates, prepare way. Prepare we the way for Jah Rastafari. Fight down war and crime. Fight down war and crime. Rastafari, war and crime. And build up righteousness. And we love Jah. And we love Jah. And we love Jah. Rastafari, preserve all. And we love Jah. Me love Jah. Me love Jah. Rastafari, preserve all. Me love Jah. Rastafari. Yeah, the next song is going to be the last song for tonight. And then DJ Twink.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.